We're at the tail end of the program right now, still discussing the upcoming by-elections and the intrigues within ODM with Senator Okongo Omogeni, the Senator of Nyamira, and also Shakil Shabir, who is the Member of Parliament for Kisumu East. Just something that is on everyone's mind, hanging on the rafters of their mind, is a question of the Winnie's moment, that this is Winnie's moment. And she's appealing to a very youthful demographic.
Yes.
And this is not the reading of the ODM leadership right now, because if she picks up maybe the mantle, everyone talks about how the revival, the rejuvenation of ODM, the spirit of Raila seems to be now endowed in her. Is this what also the governing council is missing, Okongo Omogeni?
Yeah, I think, you know, if you look at what is happening in the continent, this president of Senegal is 37.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Very youthful. Now, remember the guy who created history, becoming the first black president of America, was 47.
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama was 47.
Was it 47 or 42?
Well, let's say he was in
the
his 40s, but I think he was 47. It could be 42. So that's the age bracket where Winnie is. And I think Winnie is looking like, in her heart she feels, I'm the political heir apparent to my father's political base. And she feels, because of the excitement that the Gen Z has created in the country,
Excuse me.
I think when she goes back, looks at the mirror, she says, look, this is my moment. I either grab it now or I forget it. And I think maybe she's looking at something like the Uhuru Park moment in 2002, where maybe one day the uncle will come and say, Winnie. Yeah, Tosha. So I think it's a big test on the leadership skills of Oburu Odinga. Because really now, if you talk about the Jaramogi Odinga family, is the guy who should provide leadership. If you look at how to manage succession in the Odinga family, the political succession in the Odinga family, all eyes are on Oburu Odinga. So I think how he manages this will define the future of ODM. If we don't manage the wrangle from the fairly ambitious Winnie, because you can see the speech that was made in Mombasa, and you can see somebody who feels like, I'm announcing my arrival. I'm now on the stage. I'm ready. You can see that. And then
she was attacked very heavily.
I mean?
She was attacked.
Yeah, I mean, that's expected. But our speech tells you of somebody who is impatient. She feels like, I need to step in and become the political heir apparent to my father's political base. On the other hand, I think what you showed us there is a headline that says, Oburu says, I didn't ask for this thing, you gave it to me. So why are you fighting?
No, you see.
But where is the cultural aspect? Because I think, do you think this also will come to play?
Yeah.
Where you have such a youthful face, also maybe on the leadership of a very seasoned politicians over time, veterans, we're talking about who are in their 80s. There is that cultural factor that will come into play over this, and people also may use it to try and prevail upon Winnie.
No, you see the cultural, actually cultural head of the Raila family is Raila Jr. He has already been installed. The cultural head of the Odinga family, and to bring all of that together, the person, the elder, who's trying to put things together for the heir apparent, the Prince of Wales, is the person who is now saying, I'm going to hold fort for this person. Winnie is the queen or the princess who is coming after her father. the decision of whether the Luo would be able to accept her. She has not gone for the cultural head. She was not appointed the cultural head. My young man, Junior.
But I'm not really talking about the cultural head in that sense.
We are saying,
if you understand the African culture, the place of the eldership.
Yeah.
And
no, but you must understand.
Where do you place
the Luo culture as well?
If you look at that, where do you place Oburu and Raila Odinga in the succession of 1994? Of course, if you look at age, Oburu was
he's advanced.
elder. I mean, he was the head of the Odinga family. And I'm sure even Winnie, when they retreat back to the Odinga family, they know this is our cultural head. I don't think they can question the leadership of Oburu within the family. But you see, politics is...
On the political sphere, it's different.
The political sphere...
I am not...
Raila Odinga
I am a nation, but not an
himself.
African Luo. But I will tell you something. I've known the Luo culture for a very long time. The spirit of Raila, that's what they call it. I don't know what they call it in Luo. Has transgressed, has transformed or gone into the form to Junior. Now that is where it stands. Now as far as Winnie is concerned and the others are concerned, now we are coming to who is going to be heading the ODM. ODM is a very big organization, and it's not going to be just taken by anybody. Those who are in the administration and the executive are there in the executive. They need to be brought back and get the confidence of the people. Now the point is, when that comes, who will be able to create that confidence? Will it be Winnie, or will it be Oburu? Is not in this. Is not there at all. Some of these, like even put Orengo. Will it be somebody else? Will it be Sifuna? There's so many issues in this particular thing, and the point that I'm trying to suggest again, I have great faith that Oburu is not the kingmaker. Oburu is not even the king. Remember what Winnie said? The king is gone, but long live the crown. Now, you must understand what we're saying. Even in British history, when the monarch was young, somebody else with what do they call them? They were looking after the monarch. So our idea, many people would like ODM to collapse. We're not going to allow it to, I will not for one try and allow it to collapse. But we must work on the positives. And we must understand that President Ruto wants to come back 2027. And with Raila Odinga, he had a strong partner. Will he have that strong partner if ODM breaks? And that is where I say President Ruto is thinking ahead. And it is President Ruto who will probably keep ODM together.
For his benefit.
For his benefit, but keep it together. And the other thing that you must say, ever since there has been ODM and others, there have only been two strong parties. The one that so-called wins the election and the one which is 200,000 votes short. So they are equal. And for Kenya, these things to be equal is the only way forward for Kenya. We must have a strong opposition. If we break, our opposition is gone.
Thank you. Okay, I just wanted to also just tease out something on the Star as we're heading towards the by-elections. We can see the Kasipul factors where candidates have been fined 1 million shillings for electoral code of conduct, violation. And I think it's the National Assembly also that has the Election Offence Act.
Yes.
On what stage is it at right now?
Yes.
Are there any signs of it sailing through the third reading and seeing the light of day to ascend?
We are hoping that it will. There are very many interested versions of that bill that they will want to water it down. But our hope is it goes through. And
Where is it at right now?
it was at the second reading, and it has gone to the committee and been sitting there for some time. So I think it's our job to make sure that it comes back on the table. Yes, but you know, that's a bill. It will be approved. The act will be there. It will not be implemented. So there's Kasapul. Kasapul is very violent. Two very violent groups are fighting each other, and it's not good for Kasapul. No matter who wins, it is going to take us back there.
And of course, this will call for concurrence at the Senate.
And what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, we have new commissioners at IBC. And I think these by-elections, the 24 of them, in the one for Baringo, I think that one has really no contest.
Well, it's because Gideon did not want.
Yeah, in the 6 parliamentary and the wards is a big test for IBC because we are trying to see what their scorecard will look like as we prepare for the main elections in 2027. Remember that this power given to IBC, like this one of finding candidates 1 million each, if you get a randy IBC, that power can be misused. You saw what happened in Tanzania, where the electoral body barred almost everybody, to the extent that the contest was between the ruling party and itself. So even as we celebrate the attempt to bring order and ensure that the elections are peaceful, we should always be cautious that the powers given to IBC are not exercised in an arbitrary and capricious manner, that you end up punishing some of these candidates to settle political scores. But let me emphasize that in a civilized democracy like ours, we don't need to see violence in a constituency or in a ward. And I think we expect this will be a very heated by-election. The stakes are very high because in some regions it would mean a death sentence politically for some political alliances. So I think the stakes will be very high, and I will not be surprised if some political faction may decide to engineer violence so that you discourage voter turnout or you create fear. So I expect the police to come out clearly and make an announcement that they will enforce law and order. And if there is anybody planning chaos, wanting to cause violence, the police should take action. Because if you create violence now and the culprits walk away scot-free, that will be creating a momentum for 2027.
What they already
So if we don't get it right now, there will be cause for alarm, and we must, sound alarm bells that things may not be very nice.
But Senator, have they paid that 1 million shillings each?
Well,
I want to put to you that they have not paid the 1 million shillings each. If the IEBC was so firm and so particular, there is a third candidate. Disqualify both of them. Let the third candidate and the fourth candidate work together. Somewhere along the line, there should be an effect. You cannot just threaten. You cannot just have somebody barking. But if they take firm action now.
Well, I think they have to be warned first of all with the slapping of the fines on them. Then if they disregard that as well, then they should be stopped from
barring
running.
them or expelling them from running is excessive.
It will be excessive. Even people will react that now, yes, you are overplaying your hand on it. Right. I wanted just to ask, maybe also by casting this mini polls as a referendum on President William Ruto's leadership, is the assessment, or does it also, you've talked of it being a high stakes, by elections, because is a bellwether of the 2027 elections at the end of the day. So if people are talking, this is a referendum on Ruto's leadership, what does this really portend for UDA ODM relationship, even DCP and other parties, especially when we're looking at Mbere?
You know, it is it's perceived, they have pushed it as that. Had both parties, had they let it be the way it should, that we would have found out ourselves. I do not think for 1 minute in time that this will give an indication of the confidence in Ruto's government or the confidence in the opposition. It should not. But we will wait and see. I'm of the firm opinion that these were by-elections. By-elections hardly get 30%, 20-30% of turnout. So what you will see.
But very telling.
I think you can.
People are saying it's a battle of the truth man and the soprano man.
All over, by-elections is a test on popularity of the party in power. You saw US 2 weeks ago when the Democrats won the mayor's seat in New York. They won the governor's seat in New Jersey and the governor's seat in North Carolina. It was a shock for the Republican Party because it was like a test on their popularity, and people expected to be massacred in the midterm elections. You saw the Labour Party lost a by-election. A member of parliament died. They had won overwhelmingly in that constituency. And in the by-election, they lost by 14 votes. So the drop was massive. So if in Mbeere North, UDA loses that seat, that will be a very, very clear signal that their support base in Central or in the mountain is shifting. And those will be serious warnings politically to UDA, because it will mean that political base that overwhelmingly supported UDA is being eroded. In fact, it will be more disastrous if they lose in Magarini constituency. And it will cause sleepless nights for them if they lose Malava.
Malava is a problem.
You know, because that's where President Ruto is backing for numbers. So if you lose Kilifi, the most populous county in the coast, if you lose that constituency, lose in Malava, the most populous county, Malava is in Kakamega, the most populous county in western Kenya, Mbeere, which should be perceived to be fairly safe in the mountain, then politically you are vulnerable and exposed. That's why these are high stakes. It will be actually a vote of no confidence on the ruling party. If the 3 by-elections in Kisii go the UPA way, then it will be an announcement that, look, from the Gusii nation, one Fred Matiang'i has arrived in the scene and is preparing his base to align with his political wishes from the Gusii region. And all those are very populous counties. You're talking about 1 million plus voting block. In Kilifi, you're talking about 600,000. Nobody can ignore that outcome.
But I want to say one thing.
That's why, Dibal, if you have watched this by-election, can you imagine in Yamira, those are wards, 3 wards, but UDA is operating with choppers. Yeah, it's campaigning with choppers.
And the people don't like choppers, by the way, let me tell you. If you want to lose your seat, go in a chopper.
Use a chopper.
Use a chopper. Now, you see, please, if you don't mind me, sir, I think President Ruto made a very critical mistake. Maybe due to passion or to teach somebody a lesson. When Justin Muturi, he resigned or was taken out of government, you know, somebody gave President Ruto the wrong advice. Because the current member of parliament who was there, Ruko, was a very strong supporter of the president. It took him and put him as a minister to spite Muturi, and that's what they have a right now fight. If they had actually thought about it, they would have left Ruko where he was Mbere would be calm. This the issue of Mount Kenya would not have come up because there's nobody else in that mountain who was going to take a seat. So that was a bad decision. The other two, of course, were taken to a higher place. But I do feel that I've married into a Luhya family, and I understand that the passion that is there in Malawa and the
passion is on which side?
Malawa. Look, what I'm saying is both sides. The Western, there's no Western leader, no Luhya leader. And you're going to find that there's going to be a split there. Who wins, I think, is not going to matter at this moment in time. It's not going to make a big impact. Big impact.
I think Natembea is positioning himself as the Luhya leader.
Yes.
He's been very, very active in Malava. It appears that Alwale is very unsettled in UDA. And it seems
just technically in UDA.
Yes, it seems that they are forming a partnership to provide alternative leadership to the Luhya nation. So if they take Malava, those will be warning shots to the ruling party that you are losing Western. And in terms of numbers, if you're looking at the electoral map in Kenya, that is like a death sentence on UDA. Because you remember Kakamega has 12 constituencies, very populous. If you lose that constituency in Western Kenya, you have lost the mountain and the coast. Then in essence, you are one-term president. Yeah. So it's very,
now
this election has serious political significance.
You've not discussed coast. I have been talking to some people in the coast, and they are very uncertain. With Raila, perhaps they had certain things to hold them there. They're very uncertain. Land rights that they wanted, not there. Joho to be made the Minister of Land, not there. The political players of the coast are not there. They are now in the coalition government of broad-based. Coast is a very touch-and-go situation. And where it was a strongly ODM, I see that it could lose. Magarini, maybe it could lose because the former member of parliament, he was in parliament with us, you remember that? He lost a court case and he went home. But the other person who's there is a very strong person, yeah? And we're finding people like Aisha Juma and others now to push, and our friend, the governor of Kilifi, and also the former, and the current speaker. It's in their interest to make sure that UDA wins that particular seat.
Fantastic. Right, I think it's time to wind up, and I'll give each of you 30 seconds. We begin with you, Okongo Mogini.
Yeah, I am looking forward to a peaceful election in the whole country next Thursday. In my backyard of Nyamira, I want to urge the residents of my county of Nyamira, where I'm senator, that let's vote peacefully. Yes. Exercise your democratic right by picking a candidate of your choice. And IEBC should ensure that the electoral process is free and fair, and let the people's choice be the one being declared a winner. We don't need to see any manipulation. We want to see our democracy take roots, and let IBC midwife this process so that we can pride ourselves as one of the most democratically advanced nations in East Africa and Africa. So I'm looking forward to a peaceful Thursday. We can compare notes after the elections.
All right, whether Nyasiongo, Nyamaya and Ekeronyo will have actually garnered, these particular seats. Yes. So, or it will go to the UPA.
Or it will be
you'll be here to tell us that as well, how it really panned out. Yeah. Okay, let's hear your closing remarks. Shakil
My
Shabir.
Closing remarks, we pray that the spirit of Raila brings its presence back to bring the ODM party together. At this moment in time, it requires supernatural intervention. And I'm not saying anything else, but I'm saying that I think the spirit of Raila and what he has fought for should now reappear, and ODM be saved from a very disastrous future in case it breaks up. That's my prayer. I'm not asking for any seats. If ODM gets some seats, I will be very happy. But most important to ODM, most important to Luo Nyanza, most important to many of us who have been stalwarts of Raila Odinga, is that our party must not fall and should not be allowed to fall. And my plea also to the president is that he will decide what he wants to do. But actually, the only person who really has a say in whether this ODM breaks or not is His Excellency the President.
Yeah.
And the spirit of Raila. So let's work on that one.
Right. Tomorrow morning you're going to be with him at, of course, the Presence of Parliament tomorrow afternoon for the State of the Nation address.
Yes.
I don't know what you're looking forward to from his speeches or his speech tomorrow, Okongo Mogini. Just 30 seconds.
So we have been told we need to prepare to transit from third world to first world. So I hope
without
his speech
without going through the second world.
you know, highlight, because
yeah, you can make such a leap.
You know, I don't know how you can think of such a thing, because when you look at the indicators, we are nowhere near. Because to be first world, you need to have a country that has a very strong income. Per capita should be something like 12 to 30,000.
Yeah. But it's not given the time scale yet.
The thing is,
it could be the one who has now begun the journey to
I was in
country.
Ghana. I was in Ghana the other day. Ghana is number 56 on the corruption listing. Kenya is 121.
So begin there.
No, we begin there.
Bring the corruption down first.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing,
because that's one of the indicators.
The other thing is, Senator, if you allow me to say this, is that vision without implementation is hallucination. You cannot move from the third world to the first world without going to the second world, where some of the Asian countries were and are. So I don't know why we've forgotten the second world, and we're going from the first world,
third to first.
To the first.
But don't you believe in miracles? Miracles do happen.
Miracles are there. Moses split
miracle happened.
Moses split the Suez Canal, or that's what they say. But the Red Sea. But the miracles are there, but we are not in times of these miracles. We are times of behaving and having an institution that can take us to the first world. Let us aim for the second world first.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okongo Mogini, Senator, Nyamira County, thank you for coming through. I really do appreciate your support and, of course, your cogent luminary insight that you've given us this evening. We're looking forward to seeing what will be happening in Nyamira on Thursday. Yeah. And of course, also Shakil Shabir, thank you for coming through. It's been a long time since you were here, and also just giving us insights on how the fight on corruption is going on, and also the wherewithal of the country. We really appreciate your input this morning. Of course, it's heading to morning, actually. I wanted just to say thank you so much also for your valid company. May you have a good restorative sleep. Thank you for being amazingly patient on watching The Insight this evening. Good evening.